An open letter to my fellow youth. August 12, 2021. Hey there! It makes me wonder what you might be doing right now and you have come across this article. Well, good thing is I wrote this for you. Well, technically not for you only, but for all of us. Us people who are on the verge of leaving puberty and entering another bigger world we call adulting. It's frightening, isn't it? You suddenly feel all the weight of responsibilities even though they haven't materialized yet. You suddenly think of your responsibility to finish college and finally get that job that all the decade and a half of school was preparing you for. And then what? You work yourself from 8 to 5 with a decent salary and with annoying coworkers. You'll be doing such a great job, and then finally you can give back to your parents. You give them a percentage of your salary because, well, you owe it to them. Then you got another problem. Yourself. Should you move out or should you stay in your parents' house? If you did move out, do you have the basic home skills? Do you know how to cook? Maybe. Do you know how to do the laundry? How to wash the dishes? How to clean the roof of your house? How to rearrange the furniture? How to operate the circuit breaker? How to clean the toilet? All these chores come with the independence and peace of living alone. Are you ready for all of that? And let's say you are, but you have to consider not just the physical work that needs to be exerted. You have to care for yourself mentally as well, emotionally, socially, spiritually, if you even have time for that from your whole day job. Can you handle the separation anxiety? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. We'll never know. Then what? You'll meet this wonderful person at a coffee shop with eyes so charming and touch so loving. The first few days will be exciting. You'll be assessing this person based on the standards that you have accumulated from having hundreds of crushes and puppy loves in high school. You think you're mature enough to assess a person first before loving them, but then suddenly you see yourself smiling at their "what you doing" messages. Then you start getting comfortable, and you bring them to your house, to your peaceful, independent home. You start planning a life with them. Then, alright, let's say everything turns out great and you married. Then what? Children? Are you ready for that commitment? Remember, raising a child doesn't come with a manual. You basically have to figure it out for yourself. Then you have to work your ass off until the child graduates in college. Then, and finally then, you can rest because that child should have much to owe you for raising them as a good child. Then the cycle continues for them and their children and the children of their children. Well, we got a bit far there, but that's the reality, isn't it? Do you want me to repeat it again or what? No, I won't. I'll save you the spoilers for the second time. Let's go back to the present. This time, when you are reading this article, your age may be what? 18, 19, 20, 23, 26, 29? Believe it or not, I've seen people leave puberty at the age of more than 29. And I don't mean the physical aspect of puberty, but instead the mental and emotional aspect of it. It's alright, it's fine. We tend to think that there will be a time when we will eventually figure everything out. A time when things will just fall into place and we can finally live a peaceful life, have harmonious and flowery relationships with family, friends, our partner, and hopefully our kids. We think that when we get this certain age, we will just know what to do, who to talk to, and how to do things. We think that when we finally graduate, we'll finally be happy by having that job, earning self-made money. What a great feeling that is. We think that when we finally achieve something in the future, we think we will be okay. Well, not to disappoint you, but spoiler alert, that time will never come. There is no figuring out in life, and I know that might be more frightening to you than the actual thought of being an adult, but it's true. There's simply no point in your life when you'll say, "Oh shit, I have it figured out already." There's no, "once I get a job, I'll know how to do this." No, there's nothing like that. You will never figure things out because as much as we want to think that we are doing everything we can to be the best, we will never be the best. And I'm not here to put your spirits down, but instead, I'm here to keep your spirits grounded. When I was a child, I thought I'd figure things out when I enter high school. Another spoiler alert, I didn't. I didn't even know what I would figure out specifically. When I was in high school, I thought I'll be more mature when I reach the age of 18 and that I would know how to at least live independently. Again, spoiler alert, I didn't. And I'm here right now, at the age of 19, still immeasurably dumb about life, with just a little knowledge but with a lot of confidence to talk to you through this article about figuring things out in life. Maybe when I reach 25, I'll figure things out. Nope, that's all bullshit. There are a lot of things wrong with setting up these expectations in ourselves. Like we're giving a deadline to ourselves to figure things out that we don't understand yet, to learn things as quick as possible before this certain point in time. And it just does more harm than good. The first is because we are pressuring ourselves. There's nothing worse than living a life of stress and pressured daily living. And it's shocking how often we do this to ourselves without even knowing. Do you feel afraid being left out in your university while your friends and batchmates graduate already? Do you feel pressured to learn how to drive a car because all of your friends can already do so? Do you feel ashamed you can't even cook just an omelette? Well, who told you that you should learn all of that right away? We may pinpoint our fingers to people in our lives, but deep down, it is us who told ourselves that. We are pressuring ourselves to what? To grow faster? To learn these things just so we can feel a sense of belongingness? Isn't it unfair for yourself that you are doing the best you can, but you still put yourself down for things that you didn't achieve? The first piece of advice I'll give to you, be kind to yourself. That's it. That alone will keep you going till you're 90. Even if you're burdened with debt, lost all your family members, or even if you lost all your senses. The number one survival tip I can give you is to be kind to yourself. But how would you do that? Well, there are many things you can do. 1. Forgive yourself easier and quicker. Don't stress out the little things that made the 2% failure of your 98% success. 2. Give yourself some more time. Allot at least 30 minutes of doing things that you love, and if possible, allot half of your life for doing things that you love. 3. Acknowledge you're human, that you make mistakes, and that the only way for you to learn is from making mistakes. So don't go fussing about what went wrong. Instead, start thinking about what you learned from it. And 4. Understand that you never produce failures, but instead just consequences of your actions. The most affecting factor that influences your behavior towards success and self-compassion is that our consideration of our failures. Well, there's no such thing as failures, just bad consequences of our actions. And we should take those consequences as learning curves and not opportunities to blame and degrade ourselves. I guess the most important thing to say to yourself when you have failed is that you just did what you thought was right and the best for that certain situation. You never intended for the bad consequence. It was just a happy accident, and it's okay. And by this, I'm not promoting irresponsibility, but rather, I'm saying that you should develop compassion for yourself instead of getting angry. And as naive students of life, especially us who have our lives in front of us, we need to be more kind to ourselves. We need to understand that we will never figure things out, that there will never be a point of figuring out, that the incredible expectations we set for ourselves in certain deadlines will never be met. But instead, what we can do is to be in the moment, do the best that we can, and always do what we think is right. I have always adhered to Jeff Bezos' advice. He said that when doing something, think about if you'll regret not doing it when you're on your deathbed. And I'm pretty sure a lot of things will give you the opportunity to ask that question, and it's important that we consider ourselves in our deathbed. Don't waste your life waiting for the time that you'll figure things out, because, as I've said over and over, you will never figure things out. You're still young. You've just lived like 25% of your life, and even just 5% of it is long enough for you to screw up and start all over again. You just live in the present. Do the best that you can do. Be someone you wouldn't regret when you're old enough. And please, don't forget to be kind to yourself along the way. Yes, I know we have responsibilities coming in as we approach being an adult, but millions of people have been through our stage as well. Surely you can just ask them for instructions like how you would ask for directions when you're in a new place. You don't have to worry too much because you are not alone. There are people like you, and there are people who have been through the place you're in right now. You shouldn't waste your life setting up expectations that only pressure your youth. Life's too beautiful and big to be stressed out. But then again, that's me, and please, feel free to disagree. Hey guys, if you like listening to this article, you can check out more articles like this one on my website. Just click the link in the description box below. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.